rise above what used to reach you and wreck you. And in the text, Jesus is giving his disciples some revelation. And this revelation is giving them some wings. So here's this axiom that I believe summarizes what Jesus is teaching his disciples and what we can learn from what Jesus said to them. Better can't come in until bitterness goes out. And bitterness can't go out until forgiveness comes in. I thought the 130 to 145 today. I thought the 145 would I would say that again. Better can't come in until bitterness comes out. And bitterness can't go out until forgiveness comes in. This is the essence of what Jesus is articulating in this text. In this particular passage, family, Jesus is asked a question by Peter about forgiveness. And Peter asked this question about forgiveness because Jesus had just had a conversation teaching his disciples about conflict management. And Peter now knows that conflict at some point is going to lead to offense. Offense is inevitable. Peter understands I'm going to be impacted by, offended by individuals. So he frames this question. He says, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or my sister who sins against me? Watch what he says. Brother or sister, brother or sister, brother or sister who sins against me. In other words, at some point, Jesus, somebody that's in my relational orbit is going to impact me, whether consciously or unconsciously, in a negative way. So when he says sins against, he's talking about they're engaging in activity that affects me adversely, and I'm gonna feel the way about it. Did you hear what I just said? He's talking about the inevitability of offense. When you are in relationship with imperfect people, at some point you're going to become a victim of their imperfection. They're going to say something they shouldn't say. They're going to do something they shouldn't do. They're going to not do something they should do. And it's not always going to be intentional or conscious. Sometimes it's going to be unintentional or unconscious. And so if offense is inevitable, then forgiveness must be a life skill. You're going to get hurt, so you better learn how to forgive. You're going to get wounded, so you better learn how to recover. People are going to people, so you got to learn how to handle yourself when people mishandle you. Did you hear what I just said? Peter is speaking to the inevitability of offense. At some point, it's going to happen. So he says, okay, when it happens, Jesus, how many times? Jesus, I know 7 is the number of completion. So he says up to 7 times. Because some traditions had said up to 3 times. And so Peter's trying to be generous. He says up to 7 times. And Jesus said, no. Not up to 7 times, 77 times. One translation says 7 times 70. That's 490, right? Here's the issue. Jesus is not giving them a math equation. He's giving them a mindset shift. Did you hear what I just said? He's not giving them a math equation. He's giving them a mindset shift. He is teaching them that forgiveness isn't about keeping count. It's about losing count. Come on here. And he's telling them forgiveness is about losing count because it's not a gift you give the other person. It is a gift you give you. That forgiveness is a grace gift. Meaning the fact that it is needed means it's not deserved. It's a grace gift, unearned gift, unmerited favor. And it is not just the gift you give the other person. It is the gift that you give yourself. When you get a revelation that this offense has me anchored to my past and I can't move into my future. And until I cut the cord that this offense has on me, my mind will be subject to what they did, and I can't give myself to what God wants to do. So I gotta release them so I can release me. I'm not forgiving because they deserve to be forgiven. I'm forgiven because I deserve to be free, and I deserve to be healed, and I deserve to be whole, and I deserve to recover. So Jesus says, hey, This isn't about keeping count, it's about losing count. He's saying because unforgiveness doesn't hurt who hurt you. It simply holds up your healing. Unforgiveness doesn't hurt who hurt you, because sometimes the one that hurt you, not hurt.
Talk that. Talk about that.
Right? They injured you and they unbothered. I mean, you big bothered. You big bothered, and they are completely unbothered. Because some people are so emotionally and relationally unaware. Then some people are so self-absorbed. Then some people are so sinister. That they will injure you and be upset with you because you're upset. Now how you wrong me, but you treat me like I'm wrong because I'm upset. Am I talking to anybody in here? Have you ever been in a circumstance where you confused as to how you hurt me, but you mad because I'm hurt? That's So Jesus tells a parable in the rest of Matthew 18 to help them understand his point. He says, hey, there's a king, and this king had a servant in his kingdom that owed him 10,000 bags of gold. 10,000 bags of gold. 10,000 bags of gold. Not 10,000 pounds, not 10,000 coins, 10,000 bags of gold. He owed him a bag, right? This man couldn't pay the debt. So we don't know if he accumulated it at once or over a period of time. He couldn't pay the debt. So he goes to the king and asks the king for more time.